Good morning, and welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS, with your host, Bob Pace. That's right, you heard me, Fight CPS. CPS stands for the Child Protection System. It's a government entity that was created in 1962 by Congress that mandated that social services would create a group of social workers to protect their children from neglect and abuse, which is needed. It came long after the Animal Human Society, the protection of our animals. Anyway, doctors were reporting there were so many cases of abuse with children, they felt it necessary to have a way of doing protection. But the problem being is that the pendulum is taking the swing the wrong way now. 50% of the child protection systems are rogue. That means they found that money is more important than family reunification or helping out families. Social services is supposed to be a government entity that helps people in the areas of food and shelter and clothing, education and medical health, transportation, even to getting a job. Along with that, they're supposed to protect our children from the neglect and abuse that are happening all the time with children. Millions of cases are reported. 75% of all that reported are for neglect and 25% are for abuse. The difference between neglect and abuse is a physical alteration with a child. Neglect is where a child is left unsupervised or alone or not fed, or the basic necessities are not given to the child. Children, like all people, are born in this world helpless. And families, the biological mother and father, are the best parents, studies have proven, to raise children. So it's all costs that CPS should strive to help out the family, get the family back on the right track. Excuse me. It's sometimes hard because families are going through a lot today. A lot of families are struggling financially because the way the economy is, things are just so expensive. Jobs are hard to come by. And a good paying job is far and few. Now, I'm here to help you all understand and deal with this government entity. This government entity has proven to be bad. I too was a victim of CPS, so I know firsthand of what they do and what they can do to traffic your children into foster care, to take your children that is not in danger, and to lie and retaliate and abuse the system with no control over them. These social workers, a lot of them are not trained. Some of them don't even have a high school education. And these people are the ones that are going to look after your family that supposedly knows all about families. It's pretty hard for me to respect a person at the age of 20, in their early 20s, who hasn't finished high school, know something about how to raise a family or how to do children. Now, me and my wife are professional people. She has a background in teaching, and I have a background in as a scientist, marine biology, and a teacher, and also a civil engineer building roads and highways. Unfortunately, in 2010, I lost my job through no fault of my own. Now, in 2010, I was 60 years old. I'd already worked 45 years. I had my forever home with my forever family. I mean, I just was very fortunate and very blessed to have a family. Now, I'm not an attorney, but I've been fighting CPS now for 15 years. So I have a lot of information about them, a lot of experience with them. I too was a victim of CPS where they lied and they retaliated and stole my children and put them into foster care. They alienate the family. Alienation is illegal. So is trafficking illegal. But somehow CPS gets away with it because of the premises that they are a government entity and they can do that. Well, they've overstepped their bounds and so forth. And I want to welcome Megan Wilson. I haven't talked to you in a while. Megan Wilson is from Wilmington, Delaware. She is an older mother, but she too was brought up in foster care. So she, as a child, had foster care experience. And foster care is really, really, really bad. I'm doing okay, Megan. And how are you? What's the latest with your story? As a foster child, Megan was abused. And she didn't know that when you turn 18 in foster care, you're supposed to purge your records because if you don't, CPS will keep the information and use it against you. If you have children, they'll go after your children. So, anyway, Megan Wilson from Wilmington, Delaware, what is the latest of your situation, if you can share it with the room? Now, I have good people that come in here. They're all part of what I call family. Some of you call me Uncle Bob, which is okay. A lot of them don't have resources they can go to. One of the people is a lady from South Africa, from a West Province there, who's so emotional distraught that her child was abused by a pedophile. And the thing is the government does nothing about it. She's a Dutch African. The Dutch settled Africa, the Dutch people, looking for a new way, and they're called Afrikaners. And they speak their own language, by the way. It's a Dutch, but it's been derived, I guess, over the years. But anyway, she speaks pretty good English. Anyway, she is called here for support. She has no one else she can turn to. She can't even go to the main part of her house. She hangs out in the garage because the main part of the house has memories of her and her child. But the government there has been very corrupt. Now, Megan is saying some things here. Let's see what she says here. Just is kind of the same right now. I haven't had much um, time to work on it. I lost a family member. I'm so sorry. And I've been trying to get my son prepared for school and get all medical appointments caught up for. Well, that's good. That's good, Megan. I'm sorry about your loss. You know, we always lose people. There's lots of people that have been dying. They die every day. The celebrity peoples are well noted. I mean, when they die, I mean, I think we've had just recently Hulk Hogan and then Ozzy, uh, Ozzy, this rock and roll singer, and I know Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. A lot of people are no longer with us. It's all called the circle of life. Now, I try to incorporate life skills that help you. One of the important life skills that helps me is my vision of God and our journey in life. I feel our journey in life is like riding a locomotive train. A locomotive train will take you places. In the book and the movie Polar Express, it's about a boy traveling on a train. It runs on two rails, and I call the left rail the circle of life. Sometimes they're big circles and little circles. People will go through life into this world as helpless and leave this world helpless. But I have the right rail, which is called the stairway to heaven, and I want to go to heaven. I believe there's a God. I believe God came down uh, through Jesus Christ and tried to help us. I learned not too long ago that God and Jesus Christ are the same people. You have to believe that. It's a belief. But you need to do good things to get to heaven. You need to repent your sins and do good things. So the two rails are connected by strong wooden ties, and those ties represent good deeds. So in the circle of life, which was taken from the Lion King, about a father educating his son about life, you strive real hard to do good things, and you connect to the right rail, which is the stairway to heaven, and your good deeds will be noted by God. And you got to keep belief in Him. I know this world is really tough right now. We're upset because we're with a government entity, this child protection system, CPS. We don't know, we don't understand. But as long as you have your faith in God and you try to strive to go to heaven, that'll complete your life. That'll complete your life. That's a simple life skill is to believe. Now, one of the rooms relatives fight CPS is having some problems. Okay. We have 8 rooms here, by the way. And every so once in a while, one of the rooms will go bad. Now, Megan Wilson says the case is still uh, open. Yeah, it goes on. Sometimes it takes years for it to resolve itself. And I know Megan has called in and talked from Wilmington, Delaware. She lives in a very hard state. It's a small state. And it's hard fighting a government entity, CPS. It takes a lot. Now, I'm going to put up some banners because there's several ways you interact with this live stream. One is by text and messages, but it's important that you follow the format of text and a message. And I don't need to read it, but it's there on the screen for you. And I mentioned you need to list some things, and one of them is the country. Well, if you're in the United States, you don't have to list your country because I already know all the states of the U.S. But I do have 22 other countries, total of 23, including the United States. These 22 countries are from outside the U.S. They start in Indonesia and go to Bangladesh, to India, up to the Middle East, to Saudi Arabia, to Libya, then over to the continent of Africa, to Liberia, to Sudan, to Republic of Congo, to Rwanda, to Mozambique, and then to the provinces of South Africa. Then up to Europe, to the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, and then Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond in North America, it's Canada and its provinces, and the United States and all 50 states, including the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. South of the border, we have Mexico, and further south in South America, north of Brazil, the east coast is Grenada. Then across the South Pacific, we have New Zealand, and the land down under, Australia with its states. So there's over 2,500 people that have called in, and I've been doing this live stream for 22 months, since October of 2023. And I've not missed a day of it. There are shows twice a day. One on the weekends, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday and Sunday. On the weekdays, Monday through Friday, it's at 10 a.m. And then on the evenings, every night of the week at 7 p.m. Those times I give to you are Pacific Standard Time. That's on the west coast of California, south of LA. I'm broadcasting from Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the ocean. And I'm here to help you. I care about you. I'm a loving father and a husband. I've helped raise 6 children, and 3 of them are with their older families, and they're older. And then my 3 young ones that were kidnapped and trafficked into CPS started back in 2015. My case started with CPS in 2010. And it was sad because I just lost my favorite job and I was struggling to make sure I could still keep my favorite home. At age 60, it was hard because jobs that Good jobs that I have are hard to come by. You know, the story of the Polar Express, it is a locomotive, and it's innocent children that are on it traveling to the North Pole to see Santa Claus. It's a Christmas carol. It's a modern day Christmas carol. And a child is given a gift, and he goes home after his ride to the North Pole, and he has a hole in his pocket, and his bell that was given to him as a Christmas gift is lost. But when he comes to his Christmas tree. There's a box behind the tree. Inside the box is the bell. It shows the magical power of Christmas. Now, Christmas is a time we remember about Jesus Christ, the birth of Jesus Christ, and about gifts, the importance of giving a gift to somebody. So, on this journey of life, which I just tried to depict a train that you can picture in your mind, ride those two rails, the one, the circle life, and the one, the stairway to heaven. Hopefully, along that journey, you'll do a lot of good deeds because you'll be rewarded. You'll be rewarded to finally meet God, to go to heaven to meet God. Now, his parents couldn't hear the bell ringing because they didn't believe just like a lot of people don't believe in God or Jesus Christ. The ringing of the bell is for the people that believe. And if you do not believe in God, you won't hear the bell. And there is a line from the passage that says, at one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Even Sarah found one Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, as it does all who truly believe. You see, people get old, stop believing that there is a God. And I know this is probably a really corny thing to talk about, but you have to really believe that your case will be better. Your case will be better. Now, I'm going to put another banner on here. Another way to interact is that you can be a guest on my live stream. I'd love for you to be a guest. And all you have to do to be a guest is email my show producer, Grace. The email's up there, and there's 14 shows you can pick from. I want to be Bob's Monday morning show, or Bob's Sunday night show, or Bob's Friday night show, or Bob's Wednesday morning show. You just say morning or night, and it's Monday through Sunday, all 7 days. And you can't go wrong. There's 14 live streams a week. That's a lot. That's a lot. I've been sitting here talking, and I try to change every show a little bit different than the rest. I really do. But believing in God will help give you the strength to fight your case with CPS. I believe in God that someday I'll see my long lost daughter. My daughter that CPS stole when she was 12 years old from me. That brainwashed her and coached her. The people along the way. You have to be really careful of a group called CASA. Or a guardian litem. These two individuals are supposed to help out children, help out parents. But their big ear is to listen. And they destroyed my daughter. They encouraged my daughter to do things that the social worker told her to do. So they do retaliate. My wife and I lost our daughter not because of something we had done, because of a lot of things. You know, CPS is awful. Yes, there's a need to have a child protection system. Every day there's reported abuse and neglect with their children. Uh, Now we have a new person in the room, Valerie Lewis. They're all right. Valerie, thank you for calling about my kids. Thank you. Uh, my 6 children. Well, 2 are with me, but they're going to soon leave the nest. One is 25, the other one is 19, the youngest. The 19 and 25-year-old are going to head out next month in the new journey, in their circle of life, on their journey to heaven. It's hard for me because I hate when you lose your children. You see, I've been taking care of my children ever since they've been born. My oldest is in his 40s. Then I have 2 girls in their 30s. And then I have 3 children in their 20s, and 2 children in their 20s and one in their teen. And my youngest I spent a good 10 years with him playing football. He was on a national team in high school that during his 4 years in tenure won 2 national championships. Two of his brotherhoods, one is the quarterback for the North Carolina Panthers, the other one is the wide receiver of the Detroit Lions. They're from the school he went to. The school has only lost it in 10 years, 3 games, all to one school. I learned a lot from him going through high school. I'd pick him up in the afternoon and take him in the morning. His day started sometimes as early as 6:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, ended at 7 o'clock at night. He took all these very hard academic classes, and he wanted to be an astronaut. That was his goal. He's in what called the STEM program, where you take one science class, one technology class, one engineering class, and one math class every semester at school for 4 years. And I'll miss that guy. It's hard. It's hard to see your children grow, but it's more hard when they're taken from you through no fault of your own. I have a daughter who was taken from her mom and dad at the age of 12. Meaning that she was forced, or not forced, but encouraged by the social worker to emancipate from her parents and her family. That means divorce her mom and dad, her siblings, her brothers and sisters, her grandparents, her aunts and uncles and cousins. That happened in 2017. It was a hard thing to swallow. They hear her on video say, the judge says, "Are you sure you no longer have a brother? You no longer have family?" And I just can't believe that is the hardest thing. It's all because of retaliation. Our social worker was so corrupt. She was doing a retaliation because my attorney had done such a great job, had caught the social worker in lies. She committed perjury in court, and she was embarrassed by it. So she wanted to take out. She wanted to take out. It is a hard thing to swallow. It really is. Oh boy, it is hard. I know what you guys are going through. I felt it. I relived my story, twice a day, 14 times a week, 14 times. Well, it's 22 months. There's 4.33 weeks in a month. So that's roughly 95 months times 14 shows. That's over 1,334 shows that I've been doing. So that's 1,334 times I relived my CPS case, which is a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to swallow. Thank you, Valerie. I know where she is. I know that she is safe. I catch her on YouTube and Instagram, and she has a new name, but I know her new name, and I see her Instagram pictures. I have lots of pictures. She's 23 now, but she does not want to see her mom and dad. Just like the rest of the older children want nothing to do with us because of what happened to us in CPS. We've lost all touch except our two remaining children who are now leaving us, and I think they'll become more distant from us too. It's the stigma of being in child protection services. My son, the other day, my 19-year-old son, who's going to be 20 this September, said, "Dad, why did you put us into foster care?" And I said, "No, I did not put you into foster care. A corrupt agency stole you guys, made up stories, and said that you weren't safe at home with your mom and dad and had to be put into foster care." That is probably the number one thing that these people do. They constantly think you have to go in, and our stupidity gets in trouble because why? We talk to them, we open our door, we allow them into the home, we're intimidated by the police they bring out, and we don't know our rights, so we can't afford an attorney. And soon our children are taken into custody, put into traffic, into foster care. And that is further supported by 1997 when President Bill Clinton signed into law the Incentive Law, which basically says that any child protection agency that has a child adopted in foster care will receive $35,000 for that child from the federal government. It's money incentive that erases family reunification. They say family reunification takes too long. It's too cumbersome. But studies have shown time and time again the best family are the biological parents to raise the child. There's something that is instilled with us when we have children, that we want to take care of our children. We do not want to forget our children. Our children are really, really important. They're really, really important. And I hope nobody has to go through what I've gone through. Yeah, I wish I could hire. I just don't have the money for a private eye. Prayers is the important thing. Yeah, I see what you're saying. 2 years. Well, she just turned 23, so it's been 2 years. I don't know. I wish I could afford Sean McMillan. Thank you, Valerie. What part of the world are you from? Where are you located? And hello, Tony the Tiger. That's Cassandra from Otsego County. And I know they're trafficking your son. That's sad, Tony. I know your son is 14. And when he came home, his grandparents told his 18-year-old sister not to call their house because he won't be there. That's so sad. Her son, 14, has been trafficked by CPS and has been given a lot of drugs. You see, CPS workers think they're clinical psychiatrists and they can prescribe drugs. They're not. They abuse the power. I'm from the most corrupt state in America. Take a guess, Farrah Lewis. Uh, is that from Kentucky? Are you from Kentucky, Valerie Lewis? What happened to my phone number? I thought I had put my phone number up here. But I have my phone number up. You can call 626-698-0990. I'd love to hear from you. Well, I don't know what's more corrupt than Kentucky. I've heard so many bad things about it. Are you talking about Tennessee, Valerie Lewis? Are you talking about the state of Tennessee or Arkansas? Wow. Illinois. I had no idea it was Illinois, Valerie Lewis. Illinois is supposed the most corrupt state there is. Well, that's hard to believe. I've heard things about Ohio and other states, California and New York, you know. I'm sorry, Cassandra, Tony the Tiger, that your son was abused by a male nurse. Jeez. That's wrong. That's wrong. Two of your governors went to federal prison. Wow. It's something I don't hear about. Well, I'll learn something. Well, that's good that you made a complaint, Tony the Tiger, but it seems like all we do is make complaints. Nothing seems to be about it. I fought CPS, I fought the director of the Child Protection Service in Orange County, California. That director who lived in the Taj Mahal. It was a 10-story building. It looked like the Emerald City of Oz. It was so gaudy and so rich. That's where all the money's being spent. It's hard out there. It's hard out there. You guys should listen to my 5 rules I come up with. You need to make sure you hire a real attorney. You got to hire a real attorney. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is you need to document everything. And you need to come up with forms you create. One is called the incident time log and the journal that you should write to your children while they're gone. There's rule 3 where you do not talk to social workers or the police or let them in your home. And if you meet them in the medical world, do not let them take your children or talk to them. Or if you're having a baby, don't let them take your baby. Your constitutional, your civil rights, you should know. Look it up. What are my civil rights? What are my constitutional rights? The internet has it. And my rule number 4 talks about how to use the internet. It's the format of words in the browser you choose, which are important. And rule number 5 is make copies of all important documents: marriage license, birth certificates, children's grade reports, all those documents, so that when they ask for something, you have with you. And copies are fine. You don't need certified copies. We got a call come in. Okay. Good morning and welcome to Bob Pace's live stream. How can I help you? Hi, Andrew. Glad to meet you, Andrew. I do remember the voice. Yes. Yeah.
On how to do the for that.
Okay. So you want to file a confidentially about what? Okay.
We're supposed to Vincent Davis for the 15-minute interview, but no one has showed up. So.
Oh no! How long ago was that scheduled? Okay, what you can do is you can write my producer, or you can send me your name and email and your phone number, and I'll send it to her and tell her to reschedule it for you because you should have had that. Yeah, that is so bad.
Or doing the hold them in contempt.
Yeah.
So we already filed a motion for restricting the information getting out. But I know evidence and proof that shows that they wrote that motion.
Okay. Now, was there reports or records or documents that were created and compiled on behalf of the Department of Human Services? I'm reading about the Division of Arkansas State Police or any author of this chapter report investigations to provide service to children, individuals, families should not be subject to disclosure under the Freedom of Information Act. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, there's a really great article. Um, I just typed in real simple Arkansas. Um, I typed in Arkansas CPS breach of confidentiality, and they come up with lots of the code. It's Arkansas's code 4-110-105. That's the code. It says a person or business should retain a copy of the written determination of breach of the security of the system and supporting documents for 5 years from the date of missing CPS. Okay. Uh huh. Okay. All right. Okay.
Child or juvenile, which are maintained by the Division of Corrections and Rehabilitation, the Department of Human Services, the child agency or facility, or court or law enforcement agency, are confidential and may not be released or disclosed to anyone, including any federal or state agency.
Now, how was this information released?
Well, and she was on the CPS case. She left the state of West Virginia and went to Virginia. She then was released, taken off the case on February 4th, and so was her counsel. But her counsel continued to help her and give her the information. I'm also filing a complaint with the Lawyers Disciplinary Board because she had sent me a screenshot of what is a text message and whatnot from him telling her exactly what had happened on adjudication and all that stuff. And this was months after they were released off the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I come to find out it wasn't just the public defender lawyer that she had. It's also CPS, the caseworker, helping her as well.
Yeah, hold on one second. Valerie Lewis, you say you cannot hear Andrew? He's talking live. It may go away when I go to the website. When I leave this room, the voice may not transfer. So I have it back now. So that's probably why you can't hear him for the moment. But Andrew is talking about this situation. And I also want to welcome Barkley from Montana. She says all states are corrupt. She wants to know about the motion 388. The motion 388 is where you file for new information and you want the judge to hear your case. So you file it in court. It's very important you serve on all parties. Make sure all parties that are part of this case are served. Okay, Bartley? Now, Andrew, what new question do you have for me, and what can I help you? I mean, how can I help you?
I just want to make sure that with the information that I have with messages, that should be enough for hold them in contempt, file a motion through.
Yeah.
Because my public defender is telling me that he needs a little bit more hard evidence of them using that information that they obtained. But like I said, my wife has admitted that she's going to use that information in our custody case, and she hasn't yet. But I have a court case in Virginia on the 10th of September.
She wants, you guys are going through divorce then, right?
Yeah, we'll be going through a divorce. She was pregnant when we were separated, and then she gave birth, and she's kept my daughter from me my daughter's 4 months old. And I haven't been able to, I've only seen her like one time for 30 minutes. I'm trying to do my hardest I'm also trying to get my son out of CPS as well. That's the reason why I'm going to court on the 14th.
Now, is your son with your wife? Is your son with your wife? Is she the mother?
Yeah, she's not the mother.
Okay, so you had another child by another relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, why is that child being taken from you? Okay.
Abuse and neglect for child witnessing.
So, was the mother of the child have nothing to do with your son? So she dropped out of the picture, and you've been raising your son. You met another woman, you married, and had a child with her. And since the birth of the child, she refused for you to have visitations with the child. Okay. That's tough, Andrew. That's tough.
I can show the judge that they're doing the wrong thing by helping my wife and keeping my son longer than what needs to be, because neither I was never arrested nor showed any evidence whatsoever of abuse and neglect.
How about your domestic violence charge? Has the domestic violence charge been heard? Have you gone to court about that?
Civil matter, and it's a hearsay. It's,
who claims the domestic violence? Is your wife the one that claims it? And she did not do a court order for you? She did not charge you, and the district attorney, she did not charge it in criminal. She couldn't charge you domestic violence criminally, but she has not done that.
she's lied straight up. We've asked her.
Why would she want the child? Has she adopted the child? I mean, what right does she have to your boy? Right, right. So why is she trying to take your son away?
Being, being taken from CPS by CPS, and
Why was your son? Why was your son taken by CPS? Of who? Now that's of your daughter.
domestic situation where they are stating that domestic violence comes on between me and my wife in front of in front of my son, and so that's what they adjudicated me for, which they had no clear evidence other than hearsay.
Okay. But I'm kind of confused because it sounds like you have two separate CPS cases.
No, this is one, and then they're giving her information for a custody visitation case in the state of Virginia for my daughter, my 4-month-old daughter.
I thought you're in Arkansas. I'm confused.
No, in West Virginia.
Oh, that's right. You're right. West Virginia. I'm thinking of the other girl, Valerie Lewis. She's from Arkansas. That's right. I apologize. Um, this is tough. I thought you were being accused of your daughter with domestic violence. I thought you had a separate case there, and someone's accused you. So you're declared of neglect. How are you neglecting your son?
There are certain things where I get normal parenting, and there was nothing to maliciously harm him, but CPS twisted it and turned it to make it sound like I was hanging my son from his feet and depriving him of food, and I mean, there's just so many things off and on that
Yeah.
they really have twisted the words of my son's testimony or his interview to make it sound like I've done something, which
Right.
the judge did not see anything happening, and so he granted the fact that he wanted reunification when CPS did not want reunification. So it was because of the judge who wanted reunification. He knows that my son is my lifeline. I will do anything for my child.
Right. Andrew, I don't mean to cut this short, but my show ends at 9:00. It's 9:45. I've gone 45 minutes over my time, even though my running time says 1 hour and 4 minutes. I must have had a late start this morning. So I gave everybody a full hour here, but I do want you to come back and talk more, Andrew, and I do want to help you. I'm on again tonight at 7 p.m. and I'm on twice a day, 7 days a week. That's 14 times a week. So you guys, you're never left alone. I'm here to talk. I'm here to help. I know Cassandra's been with me a long time, and Bartley's been with me a long time, and Andrew is now becoming a long time with me too, which is good to hear from you from West Virginia. And so I want to thank Andrew from West Virginia for calling in and sharing the latest about his terrible case where he's going through a divorce, a custody battle with 2 children, one by another relationship and one by his current wife. And our prayers go out to you. Bartley, it's sad that they broke your boy's legs while they were in CPS's custody. They broke her 5-year-old boy's legs. That's sad. That's sad. Tony the Tiger, don't stop fighting for your son. I know it's hard, Tony the Tiger. And Valerie Lewis, it's nice to meet you from Illinois. I don't know about your case, Friar Lewis, but I'd love to talk to you some more. So please come back. And Megan Wilson, you started to show off this morning from Wilmington, Delaware. Thank you for calling in. Thank you all for calling in. And I want to help you all. That's why I'm here. I help you all because I care about you. God bless you all. Please do not stop fighting to get your children back. And I'm going to put up a Department of Government Efficiency, which is investigating CPS, social services. And it's on my screen for you to look at the website. If you want to call in, they're good numbers for the White House. And they have a website. You can email, a website, you can email to them. They have the email address. Now, Andrew, either text me your full name, your email, and your phone number, and tell me when it was scheduled and how it was missed. Or you can write to Grace at vincentwdavis.com and tell her that you missed your appointment, that you showed up and Vincent Davis didn't show up. So please follow up on that, okay? And thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Now, I'm going to show you a brief video at the conclusion of my live stream. And please watch it. It's about Vincent Davis. So God bless you all. And this is Bob, Pace, and Andrew signing off. I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last